Intro 00 disso. Hey everyone, Sam here with Capital Flow. Let me ask you something. Would you pay $274 in fees to borrow $1,000 for just 3 months? Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what millions of Americans are doing right now with cash advance apps, and they don't even realize it. Today, I'm breaking down the predatory economics behind these quick cash apps, calculating what they actually cost you, and showing you exactly how to escape this cycle forever. Let's dive in. Timestamp 030, the problem. So here's what's happening. Apps like Earnin, Dave, Brigit, and dozens of others promise quick cash before payday. No credit check, instant approval, sounds perfect when you're $50 short on rent, right? But here's the trap. These apps don't charge interest technically, so they avoid lending regulations. Instead, they hit you with lightning fees for instant transfers, usually $1.99 to $7.99, subscription fees ranging from $4 to $20 per month, tips that are supposedly optional but heavily pushed, ranging from 10% to 20%, overdraft protection fees, often another $5 to $10. Let's do the math on a real scenario. Sarah, a retail worker from Ohio, borrowed $100 from a cash advance app 5 days before payday. She paid a $4.99 instant transfer fee, had a $9.99 monthly subscription, and felt pressured to leave a $15 tip. That's $29.99 to borrow $100 for 5 days. Here's where it gets insane. That works out to an APR of over 21,900%. Yes, you heard that right. 21,000%. Credit cards charge around 20% to 30% APR. Payday loans, which are already considered predatory, average about 400% APR. These apps are in a completely different stratosphere. Timestamp 2 o'clock. Why the cycle continues. But here's the really insidious part. When that app automatically deducts their money from your next paycheck, you're now starting the pay period even more broke than before. So what do most people do? They immediately need another advance. This is called the debt treadmill, and it's by design. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau found that 70% of cash advance app users take out advances at least once a month, and 30% do it more than 10 times per month. The average user pays around $180 per year in fees, but heavy users can pay over $500 annually just to access their own money early. Think about that. $500 per year that could be going toward an emergency fund, paying down debt, or building wealth. Instead, it's pure profit for these companies. Timestamp 3 o'clock, comparing your alternatives. Let's compare what borrowing $500 for 2 weeks actually costs across different methods. Cash advance apps, $35 to $85 in combined fees, depending on tips and subscriptions. That's 7% to 17% for 2 weeks. Credit card cash advance, around $15 in fees, plus maybe $2 in interest. Total, about $17 or 3.4%. Personal loan from a credit union, as low as $5 to $10 in interest for 2 weeks, or 1% to 2%. Borrowing from family or friends, potentially free, just swallow your pride. Asking your employer for an advance, often free or minimal admin fee. Even a traditional payday loan, which charges around $75, is comparable to the high end of cash advance apps when you factor in all the fees. The point is, these apps market themselves as the better alternative to payday loans, but when you calculate the true cost including all fees, subscriptions, and tips, they're often just as expensive or worse. Timestamp 4, unquag, the escape plan. Okay, so how do you actually break free? Here's your step-by-step plan. Step 1. Cancel the subscription and delete the app. I know that sounds scary, but stay with me. You need to stop the bleeding first. Most people think they'll just use it one more time, but that's how you stay trapped. Step 2. Make a bare-bones budget for the next 30 days. Write down your absolute essential expenses: rent, utilities, minimum debt payments, basic groceries, and transportation to work. That's it. Everything else is negotiable for now. Use the 50-30-20 rule as a long-term goal. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. But for your first month breaking free, you might need to go 80% needs, 20% everything else. Step 3. Create a cash buffer before your next paycheck. This is crucial. You need to find $50 to $200 to break the cycle. Here's how. Sell something, right now. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, whatever you've got. Pick up 1 or 2 gig economy shifts. DoorDash, TaskRabbit, anything. Ask your employer if you can pick up extra hours or get a one-time advance. Return any recent purchases you don't absolutely need. Yes, this requires hustle, but it's one hard month to break free versus years of paying these fees. Step 4. Open a separate checking account for bills only. Many online banks like Chime, Ally, or Capital One have no minimum balance requirements. When your paycheck hits, immediately transfer your fixed expenses into this account. What's left is what you